This is part of our scenario of the TAC Air basically game system, and the idea I get from that game is the Central Group forces are going to attack out of Czechoslovakia through the Hof corridor. Now their first objective is to head to the Mainz River, and the Mainz River is depending where, picking the point where they're going to cross. And now the Soviets' overall strategy is they want to take Beirut, but they believe that's going to be more heavily contested, and so our main drive is going to go through Kobach. And so the first scenario you've seen played in this series was the battle at Kobach at the Mainz River. It was the Soviets' cross-attached tank battalion and infantry companies gaining a bridgehead over the river. Defending that area was a German Panzer Grenadier unit, and the Germans were fighting a delaying action. And as you know, if you watch the video, the Soviets won that. They created the bridgehead and they were on the drive. Now remember, to get from the border down to the mines, it takes an hour, hour and a half. If you're fighting, it's quicker than that to get there. So if you're fighting, we figure the Soviets reached the Mainz River in an hour and a half through whatever resistance the NATO forces put up in their FOB up by Hof. But they are through, they're at the river, they broke through, and that's why you now see a red X there. That is a Soviet victory at the Mainz River. Basically, the second day they head to their second objective, and that is where you watch scenario number 2, where we fought this, the Americans fought a defensive engagement. That was our second battle we had. And this battle took place at Kassendorf, and we give this, it was basically a draw, but you'll see it has a green X here coming up, because I do give it a American victory, because basically they stopped the Soviet advance. The Americans weren't able to counterattack, but as far as game terms went and points, the Americans, you needed if I remember correctly, 700 points to win more than the other side, and the Americans missed it by 20 points. So they stopped the Russians. So the Russians' momentum has now been stalled on the second day. So immediately we move us to our third battle, and that's what we're going to show right here. The Russians took the reserves, they threw them between the towns of Kassendorf and Therma, and they were trying to cut in between that on the highway there. The Americans threw in their reserves, and this turned into a meeting engagement. Both sides were seeking to encounter the other side, destroy whatever force was there, and break through. And what this battle turns into is quantity versus quality. Commanding the Soviet tank battalion of T-80 tanks, and that's all this is. Since this is a hastily put together operation by both sides, there's no other support going on. There's no aircraft, no artillery, no nothing. It's a strictly tank battle. This is the Soviet commander, and he is detailing his plan to us before the battle starts.
Alright, so we're going to want 3 companies, 2 over here and 1 right here. Classic 3, just march forward. But we're going to want to, when we get to around here where the tree line is and the hill is, we want to hook into the battle where it's in the middle. So we're going to have 1 company holding the tree line, and we're going to have the other company go right here and try to bomb rush the Americans right in that point over there. And we're going to have our third company over here hook around, and we're going to want to go around the Americans so we can hit them from the rear while they're getting charged by our suicide company over here. And we're going to do the most damage around.
And this is a shot of the Soviet setup. Now I'm taking control of the 2 right tank companies. The Soviet commander's taking control of the far left company, who's going to be doing the left hook. So you can see we have set up more to the right as the Soviets' plan is, and we will shift. Now, Here is the American commander's battle plan. Now he does see our Soviet setup because, I'm trying to move the game along, and one came the night before, then he came in the day we were playing. So just to move the game along, I had set up the Soviets the way the commander wanted, and so he sees their setup, and now this is his plan. And FYI, if you haven't noticed, you can see the 3 companies at the top of the page here. So that's what the American commander sees, and he's going to say his plan.
I am in charge of the American forces. I have control of a armored platoon. And looking at the map here, I see a bit of an assailant on the left flank. So I do plan on contesting that area, mostly the hillside area. But I do plan on contesting them on the left flank around the hill area. Try to keep them out of the assailant, to try to keep my left flank secure. Center, but they're not contesting the right flank too much. So I do plan on having a little squad out on the right flank in the forest to harass the enemy as they try to go down through the center road to across the river. There is a forested hill that would be a great place to hold. And I do plan on putting quite a bit of my forces there to hold. In fact, I might make it a bit beefier. I might send the majority of my forces to the center than either of my flanks. The center and left flank will be imperative to hold. The right flank, they don't seem to be contesting it too much. But even then, the center has a pretty good overlook on the right flank. So essentially, my plan here is to have extremely strong defense left and center flank. And if an opportunity shows itself, then I could try to lead a little counterattack on the left flank. The center, I don't think the center will do good for a counterattack. There's a lot of forests, there's trees, it's too dense for that. So I might just keep it at that.
See if we can screen in. The Americans have entered, and there's one coming up on the road over there. There's one coming up on that road, and there's 3 coming up on that side. That's what it looks like from this side. There's the Russian companies there. There's the platoon. This one's coming up this road. Okay, so we're in turn 2. You can see the first 12 inches obviously went, this far. And there they are. They're just moved up there. So we cut that way. And then, what'd you have to say about the move on this side?
Oh,
this right here?
It was a good hand of deception. I saw him on the road.
Sorry for the video here. It's my cap. It's banging again. It's making noise. Sorry about that. And I already recorded this whole thing, but I'll try to clean it up. But anyways, he was making the comment that this company has veered off the road that he thought we were heading up the middle and has gone way to the left. So he wasn't expecting that. Here's his second move. So he pretty much came up that side. He was on the road. He stayed on the road. These guys were on the road and stayed on the road.
Not those guys.
Okay. Oh, and he's got a platoon going off to that side. We're going to be getting in some combat here soon, but maneuvering is part of the battle here. We're actually on the 5th turn. Now remember, our battle plan was to come on this side and then start shifting, which is what we're doing. And I'm trying to stay behind this tree line here because he did reach the top of that scrub and see the tanks right there. So I was on this side of the hill and I moved across this side. I'm kind of shifting because I want these 2 units. Remember, our game plan is for these 2 units to be right here, and then we're going to go in among him right here while this side got in the woods, and we're going to try to outflank. And right now he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 6 tanks against this company over here with the battalion headquarters. So we'll see if we can outflank him. This side's going to be able to help out in a crossfire here too. You can see here, and then he's got that big group on the hill there. This one's just going to be a sacrificial type of unit. But I'll tell you, he took the high ground, and he thinks he's going to sit there.
I'm not going at him there in the high ground. I don't need to go at him. I'm going to try the outflank over here where I have all this wood in the open. You can see all this wood in the open. I'm going to try to outflank on this side. Remember, that's our plan. So that's what I'm going to try to do. So far, I'm happy with it, but I got to say, I'm a little nervous going against M1A2s. It's almost like a lost cause here, trying to fight them if I can't get behind them. And I'm going to try everything I can to get among them, right in the middle of them.
Okay, since my platoon is on the side, he reacted to my higher elevation placement by going over on this side. So, of course, we're gonna take advantage of the hole that he opened eventually, and I'm gonna take my my platoon that is in
On top of the hill?
Yeah, on top of the hill and in the shrubs, and I'm going to counteract and mostly kind of follow into these woods to kind of stop his movement if he tries to move at all from there. And then these tanks will just be like a sort
Overwatch.
just overwatch. Yeah.
Is all over here in the center. I purposely made the center the strongest because I had a feeling that he would either go for the center through the road or maybe try to go for one of the flanks. He really surprised me when he moved one platoon from that road all the way over here. Now, our right flank is the most exposed. I already moved a few guys to the woods here, and we already on the hill on top of here. So I do plan on diverting some of the tanks from this hilly wood to over here on this open area. And from there we'll see what he does, and if an opportunity presents itself, like up there, we'll try to exploit it.
Alright, so we just ended like 6 turns. He's been shooting at me because he's got the better tanks, and he hasn't killed one yet, but we're starting to close ground now. And this group right here, you can see the Americans right there. I'm just going to rush them. I mean, we can't do anything else. We're going to get among them. Once I can get among them, they're going to take their time dealing with him, but he's going to use those on the mountain. That's our problem. See, he's got a crossfire coming at me there. I got to get these tanks up to threaten that too. Threaten here, and then this is our ace in the hole. This is our outflank, man. This is our left hook. We got to get in among them. But we're going to start losing tanks, which is a shame.
Can I add something too?
Yeah.
I'm actually glad that they moved so far over there on the hill,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
did not start moving fast enough. They waited like a couple of turns to start moving
Yeah.
on that hill, which is perfect. We thought they were actually going to come moving sooner, but that's actually perfect for us.
We
so
did take, how many tanks are out of the game there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 4
And then
tanks.
there's
and
still
really
a
this
couple
one-
in the woods there
Oh,
too.
there's 5?
Yeah,
There's
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's actually 6 tanks pretty much we took out of the game here.
Yeah,
So that's pretty good.
and
I got to keep those 6 out of the game with this company over
Yeah.
here, right? Point at that company.
Right there.
This company right here has to keep those 6 tanks out of the tank. Why? We have 21 tanks that needs to take on. We basically have 2-to-1 odds right now.
yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
All
All right, how's it going, Josh?
Going good.
He's commanding his left side over here.
Everything's going to plan.
Everything's going. He did knock out a tank. He's got 1 kill under his belt. How's it going, Nathan? Nicholas?
I got 2.
I thought you were commanding
I-
those two.
I got 2 disablements. But
Left side and that.
Everything's going good.
it's going decent.
Decent. All right.
So Nicholas is just taking middle. You're taking flanks.
Well, I have a few guys in the
This Armada coming at him. So I think this turn we're going to bum rush him here. He only has 2 tanks. If I pop some exhaust smoke, the thermal imaging doesn't work against his exhaust smoke. We can protect our tanks. Then we're up among them. I think once we do this, we're going to get him to react somehow. And now once he reacts, I can now move this out of the woods, and we'll see which way he reacts. So that's the game plan. Again, it's always been about flanking. And then the idea here, Dan had a good idea. We're gonna stay in the woods. We're gonna let those tanks right there. You can see those 4 tanks come to he's heading to the top of the hill. So once he gets to the top of the hill, he won't be able to shoot this turn. Next turn, I'm gonna move. Now he's gonna get to shoot first at me because direct fire comes first. But then I'm gonna move up on the hill among him. Now I'm gonna be all around him, and we're just gonna do some killer firing. That's the game plan there.
Whole squad has moved up and is surrounding my two tanks here.
I want to point out that we have to get among the M1s and surround them because they're M1A2s and they're so powerful. We can't kill them from the front at all. Turret front, hull front, front side. So that's why we're swarming them. And the red markers means those tanks have fired.
We had to smoke them out because they kept suppressing me. They couldn't penetrate my armor at all because the M2 Abrams are really good with armor. They fired a lot. A few of their guys got suppressed. A huge climax battle right there. That battle most likely determine who will win.
It's interesting. Josh said this will determine who will win. I'm not sure what he meant, but for me, it's just the opposite. This is just a sideshow. I'm just using this unit. I said in the beginning, this was going to be the sacrificial lamb. It's going to tie up his tanks, and it is tying up the tanks that were on his right flank, and some tanks that are in the center are also firing on these. So, and even moving out of the woods. So this tank company is doing its job, and I don't care if they all die. This is not where I'm going to win the battle from.
I already blew up 3 to 4 tanks coming up, so whatever action right there.
Alright, this is like our 8th turn, and we see we finally got the surrounding here on his tanks. I've been suppressing these tanks so they're less effective on me now, so that's a great thing. I suppressed all 3, and then over there, not doing too hot. I mean, even before I came out of the woods, I lost 3 tanks. But now I'm among them. So we'll see what happens there. So as we came up, I started laying fire. Even though I couldn't destroy those, I can suppress them, which I did. I started suppressing them. They became ineffective, all 3 of those tanks. Now, we had to make a choice last turn. Do we sit here and fight and allow him to move up on this side, or if I choose to sit and fire and he chooses to move, I probably won't be able to kill him, and then he's going to move and reinforce the 2 tanks he had here with these 2 tanks, and he had another one there. So it'd be 5 tanks against this company, against like 11 tanks, which would better his odds. But we banked that Nicholas, the commander here, would not move. And so I stayed there and direct fired. He stayed there and direct fired, or actually he popped exhaust smoke to protect himself because I was suppressing him every turn. But he stayed there was the point. So that helped us out. When he stayed there, this side was able to overwhelm. Now remember, approaching him up to last turn, he knocked the tracks off here. He knocked a gun. He damaged my gun on my other tank. And I lost 3 tanks before I even engaged him over there. Since last turn, when we were able to go, we have to get among the M1s. There ain't no way to beat the M1s unless you get around their rear, or rear side or rear. And so last turn we did that. Last turn we destroyed 4 M1A2s. Now these are M1A2s. I don't mean just M1s. I don't mean M1A1s. I mean M1A2s. 4 of them. And now he's killed only 5 Russians. We killed 4. And now we're able to start this encirclement. And then I rushed him here. So our plan definitely paid off here, that we knew he wasn't going to move. And now he's going to get overwhelmed here by overwhelming. On this side, we're getting hammered. But we did pull 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 tanks are on this side. And that's what we wanted.
I think it couldn't have gone better on this part. I didn't lose a single tank coming through up here.
Yeah.
And we didn't start losing tanks till after we started going in the forest. So that was great.
But we did take out this side, right?
Yeah, we took out this whole side. And now we're headed up there, actually.
Yeah.
There's ours.
And you have a good idea. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to want to go...
Yeah, you're going to move to the road.
Right here.
Yes. And then
go
get
right
them on
there.
them.
Yeah. So
And then I'm already among them right here, and we're going to try to circle a little bit. And
That's just gonna keep on
on
holding.
that side, my whole company got wasted.
Yeah.
So
Well,
nothing
like
much
that-
I can do there.
That one was a little rougher than we expected, but
A little rougher, but
this one was a lot better than we expected.
Yeah.
So
no, we still outnumber him. He has 7 tanks left. We
have
have
what?
we have 18, so we're still better
than
than
double.
2 to 1 on him. So we're doing all right. The battle has ended. They did a good move. They knew the battle was going to end, so they popped a bunch of smoke and they ran down the hill and pretty much got out of there. And so that was a good one because we were swarming them. And we'll see what happens here. We're going to add up some points and see how it went. Good battle. 15 turns. Okay, so we added up the points. Americans killed 700 points worth, and we killed 680 points worth. 688. So a 12-point difference. So that is a draw. So when the Americans decide to flee the battlefield, you know, we let them. You fled.
Tactical withdrawal.
You fled. We had to give up the fight. It went 50 turns because we were spent 2, and that was the end of this battle. So the meeting engagement came to a draw. So once again, the Russian invasion of Germany has kind of stalled. They can't seem to make any more headway. All right, that's it, man.
Well, overall, I think both commanders did very well, and both of them are veterans at this game, so they did very well. Josh, which was the other American player on the left flank that took out my entire company, he was new to this game, and he did very well, so very good. I'm looking forward to the next one we do. I like these guys' strategies and their tactics, and I look forward to the next one.